Why is the detergent separating after only 3 days?
The mixing process was done too fast.
Why is the detergent separating after only 3 days?
The mixing process was done too fast.
Your laundry detergent looked perfect on production day. Smooth texture, rich color, strong fragrance. But 3 days later, everything changed. The liquid separated inside the bottle. The color became cloudy. The fragrance almost disappeared. And customers immediately lost trust in the product. This happens every day in small detergent factories around the world. Most beginners think the problem comes from bad raw materials or a weak formula. But in real factory production, the truth is very different. Most detergent failures happen because of mixing mistakes, wrong agitator speed, wrong ingredient order, poor circulation inside the mixing tank. Today, inside this real chemical production workshop, we are going to show the most common detergent production mistakes that destroy product stability after only a few days. In front of us is a stainless steel industrial mixing tank used for real detergent manufacturing. The agitator system is designed to control circulation carefully during every production stage. But many small factories use incorrect mixing methods that create hidden instability inside the liquid. The detergent may look good at first, but the chemistry inside the bottle is already failing. Close-up footage shows separated detergent layers inside transparent containers. Some bottles have thick material floating near the top, while others show watery liquid at the bottom. This is one of the fastest ways to damage a detergent brand because customers immediately believe the product is low quality. Throughout this video, we will break down the exact production mistakes that cause separation, cloudiness, foam instability, and fragrance loss. We will also show how professional factories prevent these problems using correct industrial mixing methods. If you are producing detergent or planning to start your own factory, this information may save you from expensive production failures. One of the biggest beginner mistakes in detergent manufacturing is believing that a formula alone guarantees good product quality. Many new producers copy formulas from the internet and immediately begin production without understanding how industrial mixing actually works. In real factories, production process matters just as much as chemistry. Some beginners pour chemicals directly into the tank without planning the mixing sequence. Others keep changing ingredients while the agitator is already running. This creates unstable reactions inside the liquid that later cause separation problems. Inside this factory, every raw material is prepared carefully before production begins. Loss, SLES, salt solution, fragrance, preservative, and color are all organized beside the stainless steel mixing tank. Professional factories follow strict production order because each chemical interacts differently during mixing. Another common beginner mistake is using incorrect agitator speed. Many operators believe faster mixing always means better blending. In reality, aggressive mixing often traps large amounts of air inside the detergent and creates unstable foam structures that collapse later during storage. Other factories use mixers that are too weak to circulate the liquid properly. This leaves concentrated chemical zones inside the tank where ingredients never fully combine. Days later, the detergent begins separating inside customer bottles. Close-up shots show thick detergent residue attached to the tank wall caused by poor circulation. These hidden production errors are extremely dangerous because the detergent may still look normal during packaging. Real industrial detergent production requires controlled mixing patterns, stable liquid movement, and correct ingredient timing. Professional factories also monitor motor load, liquid behavior, and mixing duration during every batch. The goal is not only to combine chemicals, but to create long-term stability. A detergent that survives transportation, storage, temperature changes, and customer use must be produced carefully from the very beginning. Wrong mixing speed is one of the fastest ways to destroy detergent stability. Inside this industrial mixing tank, you can see how liquid movement changes completely depending on agitator rotation speed. Many small factories make the mistake of running the mixer at maximum speed during the entire production process. At first, this may look impressive because the liquid moves aggressively and creates thick foam. But excessive turbulence traps air inside the detergent and weakens product stability over time. 3 days later, the foam structure collapses and separation begins inside the bottle. On the other hand, some factories use mixing speeds that are too low. Weak circulation prevents chemicals from dispersing evenly through the tank. Heavy surfactants remain concentrated near the bottom, while lighter materials stay near the surface. This creates hidden layering problems that become visible after storage. Professional detergent production is about balance. The agitator must create strong circulation without creating violent surface turbulence. Close-up footage shows smooth liquid movement inside the stainless steel tank while the surface remains controlled. Real factories often adjust speed during different production stages. High-viscosity liquids require different circulation compared with thin chemical solutions. Industrial detergent mixers use variable frequency drives so operators can control rotation precisely throughout production. Another important detail is tank design. Poorly designed mixing tanks create dead zones where liquid barely moves. Chemicals trapped in these areas may never dissolve properly and later appear as cloudy residue or floating gel particles. The operator inside this factory constantly observes liquid behavior while adjusting speed carefully. Stable detergent production depends on understanding both chemistry and machine dynamics together. If mixing speed is wrong, the detergent may still look acceptable during production day, but instability will slowly develop after packaging. Loss is one of the most important cleaning chemicals in detergent production, but it is also one of the easiest ingredients to misuse. Many beginners destroy entire batches during this stage without realizing it. Inside this factory, the operator adds loss slowly into circulating water while carefully observing the liquid behavior. This is extremely important because concentrated loss can form thick chemical lumps if added too quickly. In many small factories, operators simply dump loss directly into the tank in one large amount. The chemical sinks rapidly and sticks near the bottom or around the agitator shaft. Even after long mixing, some of these concentrated areas never dissolve completely. Days later, the detergent begins separating or showing cloudy particles inside the bottle. Another common mistake is adding loss before enough water is present inside the tank. Without proper dilution, the chemical concentration becomes too high and destabilizes the entire mixture. Close-up footage inside the stainless steel tank shows smooth circulation pulling loss evenly through the liquid. The agitator speed remains controlled to avoid excessive foam while maintaining strong blending action. Professional factories also monitor temperature during this stage because warm conditions change how surfactants behave during mixing. Industrial detergent production is not simply about combining chemicals together. It is about controlling how each ingredient enters the system. The operator checks tank walls regularly to ensure no thick residue remains attached to the stainless steel surface. Clean circulation patterns are critical for stable product quality. When loss is handled correctly, the detergent develops a smooth and consistent base. When handled incorrectly, the damage may remain hidden until the product reaches customers. SLES is famous for producing rich foam in laundry detergent, but it can also create serious production problems when mixed incorrectly. Inside this real factory, the operator reduces agitator speed slightly before adding SLES into the tank. This helps prevent excessive air from becoming trapped inside the liquid. Many beginners believe strong foam during production means strong detergent quality. In reality, uncontrolled foam often signals poor mixing control. When SLES is poured too quickly into aggressive circulation, it creates thick, unstable foam layers that later collapse during storage. This collapse changes liquid structure and contributes to separation problems inside the bottle. Another mistake is adding SLES into poorly blended loss solution. If the base mixture is not stable before SLES enters the tank, the surfactants cannot combine properly. Close-up camera angles show smooth liquid circulation without violent splashing. Professional detergent factories aim for stable blending rather than dramatic foam generation. The agitator moves the liquid efficiently while keeping the surface relatively calm. Some small factories also use mixing equipment that is too weak for detergent production. Poor circulation leaves concentrated surfactant zones inside the tank that later create cloudy appearance and uneven viscosity. The operator carefully observes foam behavior throughout this stage because foam level reveals important information about circulation efficiency and chemical interaction. Real detergent production requires patience and process control. Every ingredient must enter the tank gradually and blend completely before the next stage begins. Once SLES fully stabilizes, the detergent develops richer texture and stronger cleaning structure without creating long-term instability. Many detergent producers panic when their product suddenly becomes cloudy after storage. The detergent looked clean and bright during production day, but only a few days later the liquid lost transparency and began looking dull or uneven. Inside this factory, we are showing the real reasons why this happens. One major cause is poor water quality. Hard water containing minerals can react with surfactants and reduce clarity. Another common cause is incomplete chemical dissolution. Some ingredients may appear mixed from the surface, while concentrated particles still remain hidden inside the tank. As the product rests during storage, these particles slowly affect the entire liquid structure. Wrong ingredient order also creates instability. Certain chemicals must never be added before the surfactant system becomes fully stable. Professional factories follow strict production sequences to prevent this problem. pH imbalance is another dangerous factor. Detergent chemistry depends heavily on proper pH control. Even small variations can affect fragrance stability, liquid clarity, and long-term product appearance. Inside the stainless steel mixing tank, you can see smooth circulation continuing while the operator checks detergent consistency carefully. Real factories monitor production visually throughout every stage. Cloudiness often begins long before it becomes obvious inside the bottle. The operator also uses sample containers under direct light to inspect clarity during production. Industrial detergent manufacturing combines chemistry, machine control, and production experience together. A stable commercial product requires much more than simply mixing ingredients. One of the most frustrating problems in detergent production is fragrance loss. The detergent smells strong during production day, but after storage the scent becomes weak or completely disappears. Many beginners blame low-quality perfume oils, but the real problem often comes from the production process itself. Inside this factory, fragrance is added only after the detergent becomes fully stabilized. Professional factories never add perfume during aggressive mixing stages because excessive turbulence damages delicate fragrance compounds. High agitator speed increases evaporation and pushes scent molecules out of the liquid. Another major mistake is adding fragrance before surfactants stabilize completely. Unstable detergent structure cannot hold fragrance properly over long storage periods. Temperature also plays a huge role. Warm detergent accelerates fragrance evaporation during production. That is why experienced factories monitor liquid temperature carefully before adding perfume. Close-up footage shows fragrance entering the smooth, circulating detergent while the agitator rotates slowly inside the stainless steel tank. The operator observes circulation carefully to ensure even distribution without violent splashing. Some factories also overdose fragrance trying to compensate for process mistakes. This increases cost without solving the real problem. Professional detergent production focuses on preserving fragrance stability through correct mixing methods. The final product must maintain scent quality not only during packaging, but also after transportation and long storage inside customer homes. Stable fragrance is a sign of stable production. Professional detergent factories prevent separation problems long before the product enters bottles. Inside this real production workshop, every stage is controlled carefully to maintain long-term stability. The operator adjusts agitator speed depending on liquid behavior during different phases of production. Some stages require stronger circulation, while others need gentle blending. Industrial variable speed systems allow precise control throughout the process. Professional factories also divide production into separate mixing phases instead of dumping all ingredients into the tank at once. This helps surfactants stabilize gradually and prevents sudden chemical shock inside the liquid. Another critical step is viscosity control. Thickening too quickly with excessive salt creates unstable detergent structure that may collapse later during storage. Real factories adjust viscosity slowly while constantly observing liquid texture. pH testing is also performed during production rather than only at the end. Early correction prevents hidden instability from spreading through the batch. Inside the stainless steel mixing tank, you can see smooth, controlled circulation without aggressive foam buildup. This is one of the biggest differences between professional factories and beginner operations. Stable detergent production requires discipline, monitoring, and machine control. Close-up footage shows operators checking liquid samples while recording production data beside the control cabinet. Every successful detergent factory understands one important truth. Stability is created during production, not after packaging. Now we compare two detergent products side by side. One was produced using incorrect mixing methods. The other followed professional industrial production procedures. The difference becomes obvious immediately. The unstable product shows visible separation, cloudy texture, uneven color, and weak fragrance. Some material has already settled near the bottom of the bottle, while foam quality has decreased dramatically. The professionally produced detergent remains smooth, clear, stable, and uniform from top to bottom. This comparison proves one important lesson. Good detergent is not created only by formulas. It is created by process control. Throughout this factory production video, we showed the most common mistakes that destroy detergent stability after only a few days. Wrong agitator speed, poor circulation, incorrect ingredient order, aggressive foam generation, improper viscosity adjustment, early fragrance addition. All these problems slowly damage the product even when the detergent initially looks normal. Inside this real stainless steel mixing system, every production stage is controlled carefully to prevent long-term instability. Industrial detergent manufacturing is a combination of chemistry, machinery, and disciplined production methods. For anyone entering detergent production, the smartest investment is not only raw materials, but also understanding how professional mixing actually works. Stable products build customer trust. Unstable products destroy brands very quickly. Real
Now the
factories know that
detergent looks
process
perfect.
matters just as much as formula.
Correct mixing speed fixed everything.
Now the detergent looks perfect.
Correct mixing speed fixed everything.